When life feels like it's dragging you through the storm and every step you take seems to be met with more resistance, I want you to hear this today. Don't you dare give up. You see, it's in those moments when life throws its hardest punches that we often feel like quitting, like retreating to the comfort of the shadows. But let me tell you something. Those very moments are the ones that are molding you into the person you're destined to become. You may not understand it right now, but I promise you, every struggle, every setback, and every challenge is not here to destroy you. It's here to build you. I want you to know that the storm may last a little while, but your strength, your resilience, and your faith will outlast it. There's a lie that many of us have believed at some point in our lives that if things are hard, it must mean that we're doing something wrong. We look at our struggles and wonder why we have to face them, why things can't just be easy for once. We say, why me? Why this? Why now? But let me tell you, sometimes the pain you're experiencing is not punishment, it's preparation. It's not a sign that you're on the wrong path. It's a reminder that you are being shaped for something greater than you can imagine. The very thing you're trying to avoid is often the very thing that will propel you forward. Listen to me when I say this. The enemy of your soul wants you to quit. He wants you to believe that because you're tired, because you're weary, because the road has been long and hard, that you're not worthy of the victory that's waiting for you on the other side. But I'm here to remind you that weariness is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength. Only the strong are tested. Only the ones who are destined for greatness have to walk through the fire. And when you come out on the other side, you will be refined, purified, and ready for what's next. But you cannot quit now. If you quit now, you rob yourself of the greatness that is on the horizon. Don't let the trials of today keep you from the promise of tomorrow. I know you've been knocked down. I know you felt like throwing in the towel, like giving up, like walking away from it all. I know it's been hard to keep going when every step feels like you're wading through quicksand. But let me tell you, there's power in persistence. There's an anointing in your struggle that you cannot see right now. Every tear you've cried, every moment you've spent wondering how much more you can take is not wasted. It is being used to build the strength that you need to push forward. It's in the moments when you feel like you can't take another step that your breakthrough is coming. It's in the dark moments that the light is preparing to shine brighter than you've ever seen before. So what do you do when the world feels like it's closing in on you? What do you do when the weight of the situation seems too much to bear? What do you do when the tears keep coming and the days keep dragging on and it feels like your strength is running low? You keep moving. You keep putting one foot in front of the other. You keep walking even when the path is unclear. You keep believing even when the odds are stacked against you. You keep praying even when you don't feel like it. You keep hoping even when everything around you says there's no reason to hope. Because here's what I know, you are closer than you think. Your breakthrough is nearer than you've ever imagined. The very thing you've been waiting for is already on its way, and the enemy knows it. That's why he's trying to get you to quit now. He's trying to get you to give up, to throw in the towel, because he knows that when you press through the pain, when you push through the doubt, when you keep going despite the obstacles, you will experience a victory that is beyond anything you can fathom. Don't you understand that the very thing that's been holding you back is the thing that's going to propel you forward? The struggle you're facing is not here to defeat you. It's here to develop you. Every trial you've endured, every hardship you've overcome has been preparing you for something bigger. You are being prepared for the greatness that is ahead of you. And I know that it doesn't always feel like it. I know it feels like it's taking forever, like the breakthrough is never coming. But let me tell you, what you're waiting for is not just a moment, it's a season, and seasons change. What you're going through right now, no matter how painful or discouraging, is temporary. Look at the mountains that have been placed in front of you. I know they look insurmountable. I know they look like they're too big to overcome, but I want you to remember something. Those mountains are there not to stop you, but to make you stronger. Every time you climb, every time you face a new challenge, you are growing. You are evolving. You are becoming the person who will one day stand at the top of that mountain, looking back at everything you've been through and realizing that it was all worth it. You are not defined by the struggles you face. You are defined by how you respond to them. You may have been knocked down, but you are not out. You may have been broken, but you are not destroyed. The fact that you're still standing, still breathing, still fighting means that you have a purpose in this world, and that purpose is not yet fulfilled. I know the pain you're feeling is real. I know the tears you've cried are not just drops of water. They are symbols of the battles you've fought. But I also know this: those tears are seeds. Seeds that will one day grow into something beautiful. Don't let the momentary discomfort of today blind you to the promise of tomorrow. Don't let the pain of the present cause you to forget the victory that awaits you. You have come too far to turn back now. You've survived too much to give up. Don't give up in the hard times. Don't give up when it seems like all hope is lost. Don't give up when the world is telling you to quit. Don't give up when your own mind tells you that you can't keep going. Because in those moments, you are closer than ever to the breakthrough that is waiting for you. You are stronger than you realize, braver than you think, and more capable than you could ever imagine. The road may be long, the journey may be difficult, but I promise you, if you keep going, you will reach the place where the struggle becomes the testimony and the pain becomes the victory. The challenges you face today are not the end of your story. They are simply a chapter in the greater narrative of your life. And just as a book has many chapters, each one contributing to the storyline, so too will your struggles contribute to the story that you will one day tell. One day you'll look back on these hard times and realize that they were the moments that defined you, that they were the moments that refined you, and that they were the moments that set you up for the future that was always meant for you. So I want you to hear this loud and clear. Don't give up. Keep going, keep fighting, keep believing, because on the other side of this storm is a victory that is beyond anything you've ever dreamed. And I know that when you stand in that victory, you will realize that the hard times were not here to break you, they were here to make you. Don't give up in the hard times. Hold on, keep moving, and let the strength that's been built inside of you carry you through. You are on the verge of something incredible. Don't let the hard times make you forget that. Keep going. Hard times are not the end of your journey, but a test that shapes and strengthens your character. Embrace the struggle as an opportunity for growth, and remember that every challenge is preparing you for something greater. The path may be long, and the obstacles may seem insurmountable, but the key to overcoming them is persistence. Keep moving forward, even when you don't see immediate results. Your breakthrough is closer than you think. Your struggles do not define you, they refine you. Every setback and hardship is part of a larger plan, and the pain you endure today is laying the foundation for the victories of tomorrow. Don't give up. Your purpose is waiting on the other side of the struggle. When life becomes difficult and the weight of adversity feels overwhelming, it's easy to question why things have to be this way. It's in these moments when you feel as though you're sinking that the true test of your resilience begins. We often imagine resilience as a simple act of bouncing back or being unshaken by life's trials. But true resilience is far deeper and more profound than we give it credit for. It's not about avoiding the storm, but about learning how to stand tall in the midst of it. Adversity is part of the human experience. No one can escape the storms of life, whether they come in the form of personal loss, financial difficulties, health struggles, or emotional turmoil. These challenges are inevitable, and they have a way of shaking our foundations, challenging everything we think we know about ourselves, about life, and about what we're capable of. But in those moments, it's not the adversity itself that defines us, it's how we respond to it. Resilience is found not in the absence of difficulty, but in our ability to endure, learn, and grow from it. Resilience is about having the strength to keep going when every part of you wants to stop. It's about facing hardship and saying, I won't let this break me. And it's in these moments when you feel the most vulnerable that resilience is born. It's forged through the heat of life's challenges. Resilience doesn't mean pretending that everything is okay when it's not, or forcing yourself to push through when your body and mind are begging for rest. It means acknowledging the pain, the fear, the uncertainty, and yet deciding to keep going, to keep moving forward, even if it's just one small step at a time. We often hear people say that what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. While that phrase is sometimes overused, it holds an important truth. Adversity has a unique way of sharpening our skills and developing strength we didn't even know we had. It stretches us, forces us to confront our weaknesses, and teaches us things about ourselves that we wouldn't otherwise discover. In the midst of a challenge, it's easy to feel as though you're being torn apart. But what happens over time is that those very experiences, the painful moments and the obstacles you face, start to change you for the better. Think about a muscle in the body. It's not made stronger by avoiding resistance, but by pushing through it repeatedly and consistently. The more you challenge that muscle, the stronger it becomes. The same principle applies to resilience. Life's hardships serve as the resistance that builds your inner strength. When you face adversity, it forces you to adapt, to become more resourceful, to tap into reserves of strength you never knew you had. And just like a muscle that has been pushed and stretched, you come out stronger on the other side, more capable than ever before. But resilience is not just about enduring, it's about evolving through the experience. Every difficult moment offers an opportunity to learn something new. Perhaps it's a lesson in patience, a lesson in humility, or a lesson in perseverance. Sometimes it's a lesson in understanding what truly matters in life. In those moments of adversity, you are given the chance to redefine your limits, expand your capacity for compassion, and develop a deeper sense of gratitude for the good things in your life. These lessons might not be immediately obvious, but if you're willing to look for them, they will be there. Resilience also requires an element of hope. It's easy to lose hope when everything seems to be going wrong, when life feels like it's falling apart. But hope is the fuel that keeps you moving forward. It's the belief that no matter how bad things seem, there is always the possibility for change. Even when the situation feels hopeless, resilience means holding on to the belief that better days are ahead. It's about keeping your focus on the light at the end of the tunnel, even if you can't see it clearly yet. When you have hope, you can find the strength to endure the most difficult times, knowing that this too shall pass. One of the hardest parts of adversity is the feeling of isolation it can bring. You may feel like no one understands your pain or that you are alone in your struggle. But resilience is not about going through life's challenges alone. It's about finding support, whether it's from loved ones, friends, or even from the strength of your own faith. Sometimes resilience requires you to lean on others, to accept help, and to allow yourself to be vulnerable. You don't have to face everything on your own. The power of human connection, the support of those around you, can be a source of great strength when you feel like you can't carry the burden by yourself. Adversity also teaches us the value of flexibility. When things don't go as planned, when the road is blocked or the destination seems unreachable, resilience means adjusting your expectations and finding a new path. It's easy to get stuck in a fixed mindset, believing that there is only one way to succeed or that there is only one way to make things right. But sometimes resilience requires us to let go of our attachment to the perfect outcome and embrace the unknown. It means being open to change and adapting to new circumstances, even when it's uncomfortable or unsettling. It's in this flexibility that we find the courage to keep moving forward, even when we can't see the whole picture. Furthermore, resilience is deeply connected to a sense of purpose. When you know what you're fighting for, when you have a clear vision of what you want to achieve, adversity becomes something you can endure because it's a means to an end. Having a purpose gives you a reason to keep going when everything inside you wants to quit. Whether it's a dream, a loved one, or simply the desire to make a difference in the world, purpose gives you the fuel to continue even in the darkest of times. It provides the inner strength to say, I will not give up on this. Resilience becomes a form of commitment to the bigger picture, to the life you want to build and to the legacy you want to leave behind. In the face of adversity, it's easy to focus on what you don't have, the resources, the energy, the strength to keep going. But true resilience doesn't dwell on the lack. It's about finding the resources within yourself, tapping into your inner courage, determination, and creativity. It's about being resourceful, figuring out a way when none seems apparent, and staying determined no matter how impossible the situation appears. Resilience is not about waiting for the perfect conditions. It's about making the most of what you have, no matter how little it seems. At the heart of resilience is the ability to move forward despite fear. Adversity often comes with a deep sense of fear, fear of failure, fear of loss, fear of the unknown. But resilience means acknowledging that fear and moving forward anyway. It means that fear does not have the power to paralyze you. You may feel afraid, but you do not allow that fear to stop you. The act of moving through fear, facing it head on, is a powerful testament to your inner strength. As you face life's challenges, remember that resilience is not a destination, it's a journey. It's a lifelong process of learning, growing, and adapting. And even when you feel like you've reached the end of your strength, remember that resilience doesn't mean you're never tired or never broken. It means you have the ability to heal, to bounce back, and to keep going no matter how hard the road gets. Resilience is the quiet strength that carries you forward, even when the path seems unclear. It's the internal fire that refuses to be extinguished, no matter how many storms you face. Persistence is often the difference between those who reach their goals and those who give up too soon. It is easy to get discouraged when things aren't going the way you imagined, when the road seems too long, and when the obstacles in your path appear insurmountable. However, it is in those very moments of challenge when you feel like quitting that persistence becomes the key to your breakthrough. It's a quiet, unshakable determination that says, no matter how hard it gets, I will continue to push forward. Life is not a sprint, it is a marathon. The distance between where you are and where you want to be is often far greater than you expect. In the early stages of a journey, we can be filled with excitement and optimism, believing that success is just around the corner. But as time goes on, the excitement fades and reality sets in. You face setbacks, obstacles, and challenges that test your resolve. These challenges can often make you question whether it's even worth continuing. The path becomes unclear, and you may feel like you're not making any progress at all. Persistence is what allows you to continue even when you feel lost. It is what keeps you going when the road ahead looks daunting, when the destination seems unreachable, and when it feels like you are not getting any closer to your goal. It's the refusal to give up no matter the circumstances. Persistence is not about being immune to failure or disappointment. It's about having the courage to keep moving forward despite them. In those moments when you're tempted to quit, persistence whispers, keep going. You are closer than you think. One of the most important aspects of persistence is understanding that progress is not always linear. You might take 2 steps forward and 1 step back. You might face days, weeks, or even months of struggle where it seems like nothing is working. You might feel stuck, like you're spinning your wheels with no forward motion. This is where many people falter. They expect instant results, and when they don't see them, they give up. But persistence teaches you that even when things don't look like they're improving, they are. Every step you take, no matter how small, is building the foundation for your breakthrough. Success is often a result of small, consistent actions over time. It is easy to overlook the power of small efforts, but persistence thrives in these tiny, everyday acts. It's the act of showing up every single day, even when you don't feel like it. It's the ability to keep your eye on the prize, even when the journey seems long and tiring. You might not see the results of your persistence immediately, but over time, those consistent efforts begin to accumulate. You will wake up one day and realize that you've come much farther than you thought, simply because you refuse to quit. Another critical aspect of persistence is the ability to adapt and adjust. The path to success is rarely a straight line, and the way you thought things would go often changes as you go along. Persistence is not about stubbornly following the same course of action when it is clearly not working. It is about adjusting your strategy, learning from your failures, and continuing to move forward with renewed focus and determination. Being persistent doesn't mean being inflexible. It means being open to change, learning from mistakes, and finding new ways to overcome obstacles. Persistence also requires a certain level of patience. This is one of the hardest aspects for many people. In a world that demands instant gratification, it's difficult to accept that the fruits of your labor may not come right away. We live in a culture that values quick fixes and shortcuts. We want results now, and we get frustrated when things don't happen as quickly as we would like. But true persistence involves trusting the process, even when the rewards are not immediate. It means believing in your ability to reach your goals, even when the journey seems to take longer than expected. It's about having the faith to keep going day after day, even when you don't know when the breakthrough will come. But patience alone is not enough. Persistence is also about maintaining a strong sense of purpose. When the going gets tough, it's easy to lose sight of why you started in the first place. You may begin to wonder if all your hard work is worth it, or if you're even on the right path. In these moments, your purpose is the anchor that keeps you grounded. It reminds you of why you're doing this in the first place. It's what fuels your determination when everything else feels like it's falling apart. Without purpose, persistence can easily lose its meaning. But when you are driven by a clear, deep-rooted reason for what you're doing, you can continue to press forward even when the journey gets difficult. Persistence is also closely tied to belief. You have to believe in yourself and in your ability to succeed, even when the evidence suggests otherwise. You have to believe that you are capable of overcoming whatever obstacles are in your path. Doubt will always be present, but persistence is what helps you push through it. It's the belief that even if you fail, you can get back up and try again. It's the faith that every setback is simply a setup for a greater comeback. Belief in your own strength and abilities is what sustains you through the dark times, the moments when everything seems impossible. Without belief, persistence lacks the energy needed to carry you forward. There will undoubtedly be moments in your life when you feel like giving up. You'll encounter times of frustration, pain, and disappointment. You will experience moments when you doubt whether you're on the right path or whether all the effort is even worth it. It's during these times that persistence becomes critical. It's easy to keep going when things are going well, when everything is falling into place. But the true test of your persistence comes when everything is falling apart. It's when you're tired, when you've been working for so long without seeing results, that persistence will prove to be the most valuable tool in your arsenal. There is a power in persistence that goes beyond simply reaching your goals. It transforms you. Every time you push through, every time you overcome a challenge, you become stronger, wiser, and more capable. Persistence forces you to grow, to expand your limits, and to build resilience. The act of continuously showing up, even when you feel like giving up, is what shapes you into the person you need to be in order to achieve your dreams. It is not just the external rewards of persistence, success, achievement, recognition that matter most. It is the internal transformation that occurs along the way. When you look back at your journey, you will realize that the real breakthrough wasn't just in reaching your goal, it was in becoming someone who could persevere through anything. It's important to understand that persistence does not guarantee that things will always go according to plan. Sometimes, despite our best efforts, things don't work out the way we envision. But the key to true persistence is the ability to keep moving forward regardless of the setback. It's about finding meaning and purpose in the journey itself, not just the destination. Even when things don't go as expected, the experience of persisting, of continuing to show up and keep going is what builds the character and strength needed for your ultimate breakthrough. Persistence is the quiet force that moves mountains. It is the constant, relentless pursuit of your dreams, no matter how impossible they may seem. It's the belief that success is not a matter of if, but when. The breakthrough you are waiting for will come, not in an instant, but through the steady, determined progress you make along the way. Success is not just about talent or intelligence, it is about persistence. The ability to continue to keep going even when the odds are against you is the true marker of success. With persistence, no challenge is too great, no dream too distant. When we experience pain in life, whether emotional, physical, or psychological, it's natural to wonder why we must endure such hardship. Pain can feel like a weight that's impossible to lift. And in those moments of suffering, it's easy to lose sight of any purpose behind it. We often ask, why me? Or what have I done to deserve this? The truth is, pain is something we all experience in varying degrees. It's a part of the human condition. And while it's unavoidable, it doesn't have to be pointless. Behind every painful experience, there is potential for growth, transformation, and deeper understanding. Pain, though incredibly difficult to bear, can be a powerful catalyst for discovering purpose. At its core, pain often serves as a signal that something needs to change. It can act as a wake-up call that shifts our focus, forces us to examine our lives, and leads us to reevaluate what truly matters. When we go through something painful, it's easy to think that we are being punished or that life is unfair. But in reality, it's often the very thing that pushes us toward a deeper understanding of our values, goals, and purpose. It forces us to confront the things we might have been avoiding and challenges us to find meaning in the midst of the struggle. In many ways, pain can be a teacher. It opens up opportunities for self-reflection and introspection. When life is easy and everything is going according to plan, it's easy to coast through, unaware of the deeper lessons that could be learned. However, when we face pain, we are forced to stop and reflect. We are invited to examine our beliefs, question our assumptions, and take a hard look at our strengths and weaknesses. Pain can show us the areas where we've been neglecting our emotional, mental, or physical well-being, and it can inspire us to make the changes necessary to improve our lives. Furthermore, pain has a way of stripping away the distractions that often prevent us from finding our true purpose. In moments of hardship, the superficial concerns of life, the small irritations, the everyday stresses, the trivial problems fall away, and we are left with what truly matters. Pain can clarify our priorities and force us to let go of what no longer serves us. It compels us to focus on what is truly important, such as love, connection, personal growth, and peace of mind. In this way, pain becomes a tool that helps us eliminate the unnecessary and focus on the essential, bringing us closer to the purpose we are meant to fulfill. One of the most powerful aspects of pain is its ability to foster empathy. When we go through difficult experiences, we gain insight into the struggles of others. Our own suffering allows us to connect with those who are also experiencing pain, and this shared understanding creates bonds that go beyond words. It gives us the ability to support others in meaningful ways because we have been where they are. We can offer comfort, encouragement, and guidance because we've felt the weight of the burden ourselves. Pain in this sense becomes a bridge that connects us to the humanity of others. It opens our hearts to the struggles of those around us and encourages us to extend compassion and kindness. In addition, the experience of pain can be a powerful motivator for change. When we feel the intensity of suffering, it ignites a desire to create a better reality. both for ourselves and for others. Pain has the potential to propel us into action, whether it's making a life change, pursuing a new path, or finding ways to alleviate the suffering of others. People who have experienced significant pain often become the ones who work to improve the world in some way. They become the advocates, the activists, and the healers who are driven to make a difference. Their pain has given them a sense of urgency and a deep desire to create positive change. In this way, pain becomes the fuel for a greater purpose that extends beyond our own personal healing. The process of overcoming pain is also where we often discover our inner strength. When faced with hardship, we may feel weak and vulnerable, questioning our ability to endure. But as we navigate through the pain, we discover that we are far stronger than we realize. The very act of persevering through hardship helps us tap into reservoirs of strength, resilience, and courage that we might not have known we had. With each step forward, we grow more confident in our ability to overcome future challenges. The pain that once felt insurmountable becomes the catalyst for our growth, as it teaches us that we are capable of more than we thought possible. Through pain, we learn how to dig deep, push through, and rise above our circumstances. There's also a sense of liberation that comes when we find purpose in pain. When we view pain solely as something to be avoided or feared, it can feel like an oppressive force that traps us in misery. However, when we begin to see it as an opportunity for growth, transformation, and purpose, it takes on a different character. It becomes a teacher, a guide, and a force that leads us to greater things. Finding purpose in pain helps us transcend it. We no longer see it as something that defines us, but rather as something that refines us. It becomes a stepping stone on the path to a more meaningful life. It's important to note that finding purpose in pain is not a process that happens immediately. It takes time, patience, and introspection. There are days when the pain feels overwhelming and it seems impossible to see anything beyond the hurt. During those times, it can be difficult to remember that there is a greater purpose at work. But over time, as you continue to endure and process the pain, you begin to see how it has shaped you. You begin to understand the lessons it has taught you and how it has led you to a deeper understanding of yourself. Finding purpose in pain is not about minimizing the suffering or pretending that it isn't real. It's about reframing the pain as something that has value, something that has the power to shape you in profound ways. It's about recognizing that while pain is a natural part of life, it does not define us. What defines us is how we choose to respond to it. We have the power to use our pain as a tool for personal growth, for deepening our relationships with others, and for making a positive impact on the world. Every difficult experience you endure adds another layer to your character. With each struggle, you are building resilience, wisdom, and compassion. You are becoming the person who can face future challenges with confidence, knowing that you have the strength to endure. The pain you experience today may feel unbearable, but it will one day be the story of your strength, your perseverance, and your purpose. Pain is not an end. It is a beginning. It marks the start of a transformation that will lead you to a deeper sense of purpose, a more profound understanding of life, and a greater capacity to help others. While you may not always understand why you're going through the pain in the moment, know that there is a purpose beyond it. You're not just enduring for the sake of endurance. You're growing, evolving, and moving toward a purpose that is greater than you can yet see. Pain is a powerful force, but it is not the final word. The final word is always purpose, and that purpose will lead you to a life filled with meaning, compassion, and fulfillment.